Here is part 4. I have now done this video twice. It has been accidentally deleted, recorded with bad sound, and what was the first? Recorded with no sound, or something like that. Or wait, no, it wasn't that. It was, I didn't hit the record button, so it was not even recorded. So there was something not getting through that God needed to get through. One of the most important statements of the last recording, I really wanted to make sure I put it in this. You guys will see me talking about my hunger strike. I did a vote. I did another post on Facebook. Fake post. It's not a fake one. I did another post where I was talking about my hunger strike. And I got this psychic feedback from everyone going, I'm so tired of her talking about this. You guys don't get to be tired. It's you guys are in the wrong. This is that we're entitled shits. Until you guys are on my side. And you guys are the ones saying it. You don't get to be tired. Until you guys are, I'm in Netsuck. So you don't have to tell me about the whales or the dolphins. You don't have to tell me about the birds swallowing the plastic. I've seen it all. I don't have to be told. You guys do. I'm the one already starving to death as a protest for it. You guys need the education. You guys need to step up and do the actions. I'm already screaming at all the celebrities. I'm already like, more and more forever. I'm already trying to get everybody together to biggest little farm the planet and create the 50 Hogwarts that everybody needs. I'm already on God's side. You guys are the ones who aren't. Instead of doing the work, you go, yeah, that's really nice. We needed that. Instead of going, I need to do it too. How do I show up, Culliran? I wish I had sat with Greta. I wish I had had the money to. Okay? It's my job to sit with her. It's your job to show up, not to hand me a fucking Hermione scarf as I'm about to be sacrificed to the beach. That's for Steve. It was his job as a knight to show up and do it with me. Not to just sit on his fucking comfort zone ass. And then when I say something about my hunger strike, he talks about what a big participant he was. So the planet's dying and nobody's caring. Because they all think it's somebody else's job. They all think it's my job. I'm going to teach Kabbalah to the world for free. I'm going to get all the graphic design so fucking perfect and pretty that I can get everybody's attention for free. I'm going to do all the kids' videos for free. I'm going to teach and teach and teach and bleed till my brain bleeds for free. I'm going to do everything for free. And nobody has to pay a bill and nobody has to stay out of their comfort zone. Nobody has to step out of their comfort zone. Nobody has to move. Nobody has to get rid of all their stuff. Nobody has to give up their fucking fake relationships. Nobody has to get rid of their fake fucking friends that will never show up for them. Nobody has to do anything. But they all expect that they're going to be okay. No, that's not how life works. Zero. You guys are sick of hearing about my hunger strike? I want the best for you guys. I want you guys to have an adventure and grow up and get powerful and intelligent and magical. But to do that, you guys have to let go of who you are to become what you will. You will only ever get everything that you are willing to let go of. Forever. Do you think it was like my training with Star? Like, oh my fucking God. Yeah, I'll move across the country to go study with a witch. Yeah. Star's a witch, believe me. A good one. A master, right? But she's a witch. Yes, I'll do that. And in return, I get to do cool things. And then I have stories and wisdom. Yeah, I'll bleed. I'll starve on a beach for whales. Going off into the unknown. Calling out Hollywood, making sure that they know they're pieces of shit and I am their boss. Yeah, I'll do that. Give up everything. Yeah. I'll show up. The more you can step out of your comfort zone, that's where the magic happens. So you guys don't get to be sick of hearing me talk about it. Ever. Until you do it yourselves. Until you sit on that beach in day 10, starving, wasting away, day after day, and then go into a bathroom and look at yourself in the mirror and seeing that you look like you're half the person you used to be. And your eyes are bloodshot. And you know you're not okay. And you know that nobody in the world cares about you at all. Not your mother. not your sisters, not your friends. Nobody. My students would show up, but they're students. And they have grace and time to learn. The unicorns showed up. And she held me as I fell to pieces on like day 30. And she was like, yeah, I'm ready for you to finish this. She's not a dragon. She's a unicorn. So she gets the credit where the credit's due, because a dragon doesn't quit. Dragon braves it out. She's got a dragon guide. So when you look at yourself in the mirror and you just see the blackness of everything, Bina, just death. And you realize, don't take it personally. These people, that's why the whales are still in a prison. That's how they treat the whales. That's how they treat the planet. They think that it's already somebody else's job instead of taking it on as their own. If you're my student, it's your job. But you're not alone at all. I'm not going to leave you to starve to death on a beach alone. I will sit there with you and do it, and we will do it together. We will fight for the real world that needs to manifest together. Because my students are not matrix programmed assholes. They don't live by societal conventions or the status quo. They go, I'm going to show up where I can. And it's terrifying. It's terrifying to go off into the unknown and to do that level of growth. But that's where the maturity begins, is going into that fear and taking those steps forward and learning. It's in that space is how I learned how immature people actually were. I still had faith and hope in humanity. Like somehow there was maybe a mature, responsible person out there. I thought Spielberg would have been a mature, responsible person. I thought Elijah Wood might have been. I thought anybody. None. It was I learned that I had to be the mom. I learned those were my whales. This is my planet. Because the level of humanity that exists in those people was 0. They aren't elder wise souls that have the right to lead anything until they learn their lessons. Everybody expects me to be able to do everything and yet put nothing forward themselves. So, on that note, let's continue. This should be a message taken to heart deeply as you pick your initiations. You should ask, what is it that I desire? Like, what do I need in myself? That should be one of your first questions, right? Your next question should be, what does Kali Ren want from me? Like, if you could imagine that I would tell you something really, really hard about yourself, you should ask that question and see. And if there's a dysfunction in between the two, then there is still work to do. And this is where you start being really honest. Because why would Kali Ren want something in me that I am not willing to put forward for myself? Is Kali Ren crazy? Or does she see the place in me that's scary that I don't want to go to? It's probably that last one. It's that last one that gives you the soul growth and maturity. So those would be your two questions. The next question is, what will provide me the biggest amount of growth in the most godly way? And look and ask yourself these questions. Filter your choice according to these questions. And then do the God's 2 cents and or tarot cards around it. It's usually a good thing. So, I am not an ego decision kind of girl. If you've taken my classes in like real life, I am there to push you into your soul's growth. So like Greg Wolf should be at the top of the mountains in the Himalayas instead of studying with watered down crap spiritualists. Because that's a desire from his soul. And instead, he trades off this delusion that his matrix watered down spiritual path in Simi Valley is adequate. It's not. Even if only he met frauds up in the mountains in the Himalayas, the journey, he's not going to meet frauds, number one. He'll find some really good meditation people and old wise men. His journey is what would give him the growth. It would involve sacrifice. But let me tell you here, we have five decent years left on this planet. Sacrifice. You have nothing to lose. In 5 years, I mean, the shit's hitting the fan today. Today. Winter is here today. Period. So the idea that you would ignore your soul going like, boom, I have to study with Kali Ren, or I have to go to the Himalayas, or I have to go see the Dalai Lama and spit cobra fire in his face, because why the fuck has he not created Hogwarts? Like, what is wrong? And where can I show up and like be a hero and be rad today? Because what's out there is done. It's gone. One of the best books I ever read was in Divine Intervention, or was because of Divine Intervention. We had to play psychic bingo. I'm very good at psychic bingo because I have that great thing called like a psychic pinger. And my psychic ability was very fast. So I'd go, this person, boom, boom, boom. And so I'd go to all the right people very quickly. I got second place the first time and I was like, fuck. I needed to get first place in psychic bingo. And I was really, really offended on myself because I got second place. But the point is that the gift that I was given was this book called Stop Saying You're Fine. And it was one of the best books I ever read. I don't read a lot of books, but I read that one. And it was like the delusion that you're okay in this stupid Matrix reality. That's a delusion. And it's not even, it's like staying in a shitty job that you hate just because it gives you the money, instead of like answering your soul's call. Because you make that choice because of security instead of love. Like all those choices that you make because you're just staying safe or in your comfort zone, they're crap. And here's the delusion. You're doing it to stay in your comfort zone, but because of it, it fucks you. So like those are the jobs that end up you losing, and you lose face because you didn't even go out the doors doing this to the boss. So you didn't even develop the self-respect that it would have been nice to develop, or to set the boundaries, or to say fuck you to those people because they're corrupt assholes. You didn't do anything. You know what you did? You sold out. And then you still got fucked over. So if you're selling out in your life, boy. That was the whole point of that I will sell your soul video. Is that you guys are all sellouts. Every single one of you. You guys do nothing heroic. Nothing. Like, my God. I can barely get any of you to donate money to homeless people, much less do anything heroic. It's crazy. So, seriously, Spielberg. And Elijah. It's like one for Spielberg and one for Elijah. Like, big time. So that comfort zone thing, like, number one, you guys are like buying out to people's opinions that don't even matter. They're all so superficial. They're pieces of shit. I'm melting. And you know how I know that they're pieces of shit? Because at the end of the day, they'll sacrifice you to that beach. And you will be the one starving to death for whales, and they won't help. They won't. Test it. I did. Test them. Make them prove it. See how deep their love and connection goes. I dare you. This is why I call all of you guys assholes. Yeah, that's why. But the students have grace to learn how to not be an asshole. Big time. And then, you know, if you're on my side and understand where I'm coming from, it's because you've learned these lessons. If you haven't learned these lessons, then you're either gonna in a graceful way, or you're gonna in a really fucked up way. It's your choice. I am trying to make it as graceful as for everybody as I can. All right, on that note, let's continue. So, as a preface, we are going to complete this portion. Yeah, I really like when the light glows on my face, too. It makes me feel like a ghost. I am really tired, by the way. I got that Netsock egg done in 5 minutes. So here's a story. The first night or the first week that I got to the dome, I was putting together the direct intervention book cover graphic, and I was taking hours to produce a really crap graphic of the Dove of Peace on this background. And Star was like, when you're connected to God, it will just go quickly, like it's nothing. You'll produce beautiful work like it's nothing. That was the most profound thing. And you'll hear that from artists. They'll go like, oh, I wrote this like $10 million platinum record song on like in 5 minutes. That was the nutsock egg. Like that was like punch, punch, punch. So easy. It was a really profound teaching from Star, because some of my graphics have come through like that. Not all, but many of them. Or the idea comes like that, and I'm not searching for it. The divine inspiration just comes through. It may take me some time to like it might take me some time to layer it and get all the colors and all the fish drawn out and like stuff like that. But the idea coming through takes very quickly. The rendering. That's what takes the time. And even that, when it's done correctly, that's the mastery teaching. One of the other best masteries, because, this is the 12 initiations of mastery, one of your guys' homework assignments will be to watch the Great British Baking Show. All the seasons, okay? Someday. Maybe that will be for Dot or something. The Great British Baking Show. After you watch these, and after you watch all these kids struggle, everybody's a kid. Believe me. After you watch all of the kids struggle, it will then be your homework assignment to watch Paul Hollywood and Mary Berry do the same things and watch them succeed with ease, grace, and simplicity. What looks complicated is actually rather simple, and it's futile for me to even communicate anymore. Best lesson in mastery I ever got. It is ease, grace, and simplicity to create the biggest little farm on the planet. There are people who already know how to do it. The only thing getting in the way is you guys and your excuses and your fears and the lies you guys tell yourself every day. It will be with ease, grace, and simplicity to create 50 Hogwarts. And then another 500 schools that will look like Yogananda's School of Life as feeders. Ease, grace, and simplicity. He already built the template. And then we'll have the Hogwarts for the Arts program school. Maybe a couple of them. I don't know yet. The point is this. This is not rocket science. Saving a planet, bringing disease and destruction into life and vitality is not rocket science. And yet somehow everybody seems to be making it be. Because they don't understand that mastery looks like Paul Hollywood and Mary Berry. With pragmatism and experience. They don't understand that it looks like Gordon Ramsay punching everybody until they go, oh yeah, we'll clean up our kitchen and do fresh food. Simple. It's precise. Basic. That's the same way magic works too. The key is choosing your soul over your ego. On that note, we begin with the lights. How we're choosing to light up our life, our guiding light, and the light that flows through us. The life light. Infuse yourself with life light. Let it awaken parts of you dead or atrophied from lack of use. Back to life. Know that the rumblings and discomfort of these awakenings will pass. Use this light for birthing new growth, new ideas, and new inventions and new endeavors. I originally gave this to Elijah. But he will get a new one instead. The grace light. Immerse yourself with grace light. Begin to lead by example with elegance, kindness, and mercy. You will more easily recognize when a decision is not in alignment with Source. With each connected decision you make, your inner beauty will shine through more brightly. A deep sense of gratitude and gentleness will emanate from your being as you model beingness for others. So this one's for Star. The wisdom light. Infuse yourself with wisdom light. You will find yourself making more and more decisions with wisdom, blending knowledge and experience with common sense and insight. You will consider and more easily recognize the big picture. This light takes you out of your head and into Source and God. This would be good for Elaine. She's miracles light. Immerse yourself in the miracles light. You will begin to perform miracles on a daily basis. Things that you had thought impossible will begin to happen in your body and in your life. You will transcend physical laws. This light holds great responsibility. As you perform miracles, you will be called to be of service. So this one's for me. Deliver me. Trust light. Charlie has been very consistent that he wants that trust light for all 3 rounds. Let's just make sure this is recording again. Man. As you infuse yourself with trust light, You will develop a deep confidence in yourself, and you will learn to rely on others. With this light, you will discern who you can trust, whom you can trust, and whom you cannot. The ultimate trust is the trust in Source and God. If you want to hear the story of the first time that I did this video recording, I felt Star coming through and going. And so it was Spirit telling me the video's not on, but she didn't say the video was not on. She was just saying, don't do the video. And I didn't listen. And then I paid the consequence. I'm hearing right now, can we do a listening light or like a listening charm on for the charms? And I'll do a listening charm. That's a great idea. In fact, in the light language stuff, I can't even think of one shape or color that's great for like developing people to listen. That's very odd. There's like the big toe color, but nothing about like develop mindful listeners in people. The faith light. This is for Spielberg. Allows you to be led by faith. The faith light connects you to your knowingness that Source exists and will come through. You will recognize more and more of the big picture. And you will learn that the best results come when you surrender to Source. The healing light. This is for Lucifer. Infuse your cells with healing. Healing light creates health along the PEMS. That is the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. It lets you perceive the areas where the healing is needed in yourself and others. Allows healing to come gently, easily, and quickly to you and through you. So here's another Lucifer story. When I looked at Lucy psychically, Lucy and Charlie are very different. Charlie's root chakra is just lit. His love is grounded, brick, brick, brick. Anchor, 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 deep, deep, deep. Okay? Deeper. Become a brick wall. All right? That's Charlie. Lucy is lit up in the heart and the third eye. His heart looked like the heart from Moana. Brilliant bright green. And his third eye was sharp as a sword. You guys know nothing about Lucifer. So this is Jedi Lucifer, a master. just makes me sad. Makes me sad when I hear people say that Lucifer doesn't even exist. He's just an imprint or a shadow of our thoughts. You're an imprint or shadow of my thought. At least Lucifer is a good teacher. What? Not only can he's a better teacher than you guys will ever be. I feel Jesus coming in and go, I might be able to be as good or better. That's the standard. Love light. Immerse yourself in love light. By the way, if you have a problem with Lucifer, you definitely need the healing light or the love light. Everyone on the planet needs, this whole planet needs the healing light. Immerse yourself in the love light. Experience the depth of your heart chakra energies. As your capacity to love yourself deepens, so will your capacity to love others. You will awaken your true desires. If you find me negative, your heart chakra is not open, flowing, or working. That's your lack of love. The diplomacy light. As your aura fills with diplomacy light, your capacity to tune into and resonate with the wave of others will be strengthened. You will be skillful at handling the most difficult of situations. Use this light to understand others more and to deal tactfully with delicate situations. So this goes for PB and J. This is a good one for you. The intimacy light. Immerse yourself in the intimacy light. The into me see light. And reawaken your relationship with yourself. The deeper in relationship you are with yourself, the more powerful your capacity to be intimate with others. Your relationship with Source will reach new levels. I'm going to talk about Meisner here because this is where it's appropriate. If you want to learn about yourself emotionally in the moment, the Meisner acting techniques help you get there. There is nothing hotter, more awakening, more enlivening than sitting in front of a partner or a group of people and being completely honest about where you are. Whether you're flirty or sad or terrified. None of them are wrong. Whether you're angry. The biggest abuse on this planet is taking away the emotions of others. Like somehow they're wrong for their emotions. Somehow the words in their voice are reduced to nothing because of the emotions that come with it. I don't make people wrong because they're angry. Look outside. I'll make people wrong because they're hypocrites. So if their anger is unjustified because they're hypocrites, then I'll do it. But their anger is not wrong. It's still indicating issues that need to be dealt with. We're going to talk about this in the emotions class, which I believe is class number 3. So it's mine is the victorious life, where we train the emotional body intelligence. This will be good for everyone. Inga was the first person to help me with this, and it was in dimensional mastery. It took me to pay $11,000 for a dimensional mastery course for Inga to pull me to the side and give me a private teaching and initiate me into her intelligence. And through that, I read a book on emotional intelligence while I was at the Dome with Star. That book is not on my reading list on my website because I don't remember what it was. But I've got the gist, okay? The Meisner acting is really good for awakening the reality of where you're emotionally at. And everybody needs that in NetSoc, because that's what NetSoc is. It's hard to do NetSoc when you're not even honest in your life. Okay, that's why HODE comes before NetSoc. It's hard to be honest about your emotions without putting millions of lies and stories around them. Right? Because we get rid of the story component in HODE, and then we start being honest about what's really happening in our brains and then what's really happening in our emotional body. And then healing can occur. So into me I see. I'm having hope. Intimate is not positive. It's real. This is the difference between a spiritual worker who works on a soul level versus a light worker who's just trying to raise their vibration so they don't feel pain. You have to have the soul component to do the soul healing. This is why shamans understand the dark. Prosperity light. Elijah gets this one. Infuse yourself with prosperity light. So he originally got the first one, but the second time I did the video, his soul kept pointing to the prosperity light. And I read it, and it made sense to what he needs. Infuse yourself with prosperity light. It will bring light and reawaken those places in you that know how to prosper. The greatest prosperity occurs when we let go of our fears of losing what we have. So if you're a rock star or a celebrity and you have a material life that looks and feels awesome, but is just filled with fake, it's hard to let go of it because you think you have something. And you don't, because it's a delusion. So the greatest prosperity occurs when we let go of our fears of losing what we have and are prepared at any moment to give it all to God, Source. Use this light to create success and attract good fortune while connecting to a deeper sense of gratitude. Elijah does not have good fortune if a shaman is yelling at him online. That's a delusion of grandeur on his part. So the idea that a bunch of these rich men think that they're successful when a bunch of powerful, soulful ladies and women are going to come after them for the money for Hogwarts, they're not successful until they're bridging to the commonwealth of the planet. That's unity consciousness. That's what creates success for the world. I am worse than a communist. I am worse than a Nazi. I am the Christ. Understand. I am better than the Christ. I am a Kali version of the Christ. Respect light. Filled with respect light, you will lead with respect for others and yourself. You will give consideration as to what are the needs of each individual, while at the same time honoring your own needs and the highest good of all concerned. Kelly, I could use the respect light. But if Kelly has the respect light, I'm pretty sure everyone will just listen to her. And then I can perform some miracles. See, this is what happens when I have students that are good. We can work as a team. I'm already working with your guys' strengths, by the way. Kelly with the punch, respect energy, and PB and J with the more. Footwear. Kelly, you also get this one. You don't have to, but it might be good. Always know I'm on your side. Alexander the Great Footwear. Want to travel and meet people? Choose these shoes to conquer all that comes your way. Be aware that you have to reflect your inner truth, or you will leave bodies behind. And maybe that's a good thing. Boundaries first, then compassion. Punch first, and then compassion. Especially if you're a woman. No, speak first, then punch. It depends. Use discernment. Or Charlie can just burn everything down. It's the same thing. Jesus Footwear. This is for Elijah. To be a master teacher and healer requires you to be in the public eye. These sandals take you to places inside of yourself that you may have never gone to. Please remember the Heelys choose you, and you do your job. Wear these sandals with humility, for only then will miracles happen. There is a difference being a celebrity in the public eye and being a shaman or a healer or a master. One requires a perception. The other requires transparency. So Elijah, you will learn to become transparent instead of a fraud. You'll let go of masks that you wear day after day after day. Until everyone can see who you are the way I do. Good and bad, until those bad things change. The fact I'd have to do a hunger strike to shine light on who you guys were is an issue. I'm going to set the bar here. And then the conversation around pedophilia will be gone. Because the bar is up here and not down here. A community is only as good as the leader. It's one of the best lessons I ever received from every company I worked for. So at BuzzFeed, if the leader is a superficial piece of shit and is clickbait, that's as good as anybody in the company is going to be. At Fender, the company was old soul company, high quality. The product that they wanted to create, high quality. I'm not saying they're perfect. I'm saying there's a lesson. So my experience working at Fender was they liked high quality. They wanted me to perform at high quality intelligence because that is the product that they create. And that's how their leadership is. And that's why somebody like Bono is on their board. Then we have, it's the same, it's the same, it's the same. So if the leaders of Hollywood are of Jesus status, then there is no room for pedophilia. So both Spielberg and Elijah have to be high quality. And then everybody models off of it. They are the men. The women don't need this lesson as much. Because the men will follow Spielberg and Elijah until the women go punch, punch to all the men. Spielberg gets the Buddha footwear. Wear these sandals with kindness and wisdom. I will purify the shit out of Spielberg and Elijah and anyone in Hollywood, and then I'll purify the shit out of every politician on the planet, and then I'll purify the shit of everybody who is running a school, and then I'll purify the shit out of everybody left. Because that's my job. So I have targets, and then we'll start getting good and intelligent and healed. Buddha footwear. Wear these sandals with kindness and wisdom, for they will lead you to being states. This is excellent for his flitting about in the astral planes. People will come to you and test you for their own needs and opinions. Choose these shoes after you are well studied and well practiced in your chosen path. Mohammed footwear. This is for Charlie. Choose these shoes to create a reality with definite boundaries and rigid rules. Wear these shoes to experience discipline and a rigid mindset. Put spirit in charge as you step back from karma and destiny. This is very Charlie. Brick, 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 work, 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 ground, 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 sleep. Rigid is not a bad word. It comes with the discipline element. Rigid as in I'm trapped in a mental rigidity prison of lies and deceit, then that's the bad. Rigid could be high form structure. Hercules. Stronger than you've ever been. Wear these sandals to create deep power from inside of you to materialize in the physical plane. Be aware that strength is not always the answer to all problems. Learn about expression and order. This is for Lucifer. This is the third time I'm going to share this story, so let's do it. God. Sometimes I laugh, you guys, because you don't understand the pain and the disgust coming through me through the laughs. So it might seem crazy to you guys on your end, but by my end, it makes total sense. Okay? It's too much for some people. All right. I was laying on the couch one night. This was after the cheap, not cheap lesson. It was days of this, a week at least. Glastonbury. This constant cheap. That's cheap. That's not cheap. Okay. Yoda Lucifer. Master Lucifer. And Lucifer comes through and he goes, a strong defense is better than a strong offense. A strong defense, a good one, and you will surely win. A bad defense, you will die, or you will win, but you will still be better. Yoda. I died when Lucy said that. My pearls are downloads like that. My class is not pre-written or rehearsed. They're downloads given that month from what God wants to communicate. And it came through for that 9 of Wands card teaching for Yesod. And then went up on a pearl. Nobody even liked that pearl. The best lesson on the planet. Like an ounce of prevention is worth more. I'm remembering that I already wrote this or spoke it for that section. And it's the same teaching and the same principle. This teaching is the best teaching on the planet. Be aware that strength is not always the answer to all problems. Sometimes it's just repetition. The mother walks softly and speaks firmly. Mary footwear. Wear these shoes to create depth and vision in your life. Be aware that these shoes are to support others in their path and make your own desires little. Great harmony and serenity. So PB&J, you can have these. Walks softly and speaks firmly. Remember, merry shoes can come with that punch attitude. Speak firmly. Kuan Yin footwear. Wear these shoes to listen to the problems of others and ride in on your dragon to help them. So this can go for the Tara and Chelsea Handler. These are take action shoes with grace and determination. Use the feminine principles with goddess energies to soothe and heal. Yeah, we have to stop separating ourselves from celebrities. We are a global community. We are all on this planet. We are all on this planet. We are all on this sinking ship together. We are a team, or we are nothing. Charlie wants me to say Dragon Ash. It's burned to pieces. Okay, Ben Franklin footwear. These shoes lead you down a path of invention and leadership. Fine, Daniel Chait can have these shoes. Wear these shoes to combine natural talents with community leadership, to reach into the future on the material plane. Show your abilities to invent and design with these shoes. I feel these shoes shifting Daniel from a super techie person to a more magically empowered, inclined person. And that's cool. And the point. He is an old soul. I know this because I can see it in your pictures. And I remember King Arthur footwear. To be a great leader and gentle at the same time. While believing in magic in any time is an art. Wear these shoes to lead and learn at the same time. Integrity and commitment to your path are all gained. Use your tools with these shoes. Charlie will train Elijah to do this after he masters the Jesus shoes. If his pea brain can handle the idea that he has to master the Jesus shoes. and then hold in a compartmentalized version that maybe someday he gets to wear the King Arthur footwear without putting a cart before the horse. Abe Lincoln footwear. This one goes for Ron. Alden Stone. To be able to believe in something and see it become law comes with wearing these shoes. Open up your debating skills and take a stand for something that will affect generations to come. Do not wear these shoes for a personal cause. Alden is an old, ancient soul. Elijah, every day you ignore him is your loss. He is your best friend and your mirror. And how do you know he's your best friend? Because he'll tell you everything wrong with yourself. And he'll do it playing chess. Like a master. Yes, there are only a handful of people on the planet that can handle Alden. John Appleseed footwear. This goes for Greta. Work in the future as you seed ideas, and maybe Elaine too. Okay. Work in the future as you seed ideas and words for people to reap the benefits for generations to come. These are great shoes for writers, artists, and producers. Wear these shoes to amplify your gift to mankind. Joan of Arc footwear. This is for me. I believe I've been wearing the Joan of Arc footwear since my first initiation. These shoes can lead to sainthood or the death of a pattern. I'm going to kill every pattern on the planet. There are very few patterns other than the punch I see in Star and Elaine that I don't want to kill. I don't want to kill the biggest little farm pattern either. Okay? So there are good things, great things, very few on the planet. Ingrid, I don't want to punch her, other than the fact she hasn't contacted me yet. That's the only insanity I see. So, if you're not like Ingrid Visser, if you're not like Misty Copeland bleeding to produce like beauty, if you're not like Star punching people until their soul is beautiful, there are problems that need to be changed. So I will change them all. Caution is advised with these shoes because they will show your faults and accent your assets. So what they did was show me everything that was wrong with me until I fixed it, and I'm still working on it. And they will accent my assets. Good. My graphic design gets better. My voice gets clearer. My je ne sais quoi courage gets stronger, etc., etc. My grounding gets better. They will also show others clearly who you are and let you hear your guidance clearly. So the connection to my dragons gets stronger and better. My connection to God gets sharper and cleaner. They show others clearly who you are. So even if I have a unorthodox resume and I try to get a job, this is in the past, I attract people who can see me for me instead of what other matrix programmed people are going to see by looking at my resume. So I get honest people that can vibe. All right, that's the Joan of Arc footwear. Let's cover these initiations and what they're for again. And then we will do the next video for the remaining 5. I will not discuss the remaining 5 in such detail and length. We will see, but it's not written down. We're going to channel and write it. My initiations. And then someday I will have a scribe, like an assistant, that knows how to do Photoshop and Illustrator and do everything pretty to help me out. That's the first level. And then the next level is getting people to have these written down on beautiful slate stones or something like that. make it sacred or handwritten in books that are handmade. My initiations. The more sacred you make something, the more sacred it becomes. That's why Secret of Kells is for Netzach. The crown. The crow wisdom. Okay? Crown. How I connect to God and grow higher. It's the supernal triad. So it's the trying to add higher intelligence, higher dimensions, higher connections to the divine, higher connections to God and Source. The crown. The robe. It's the rube. The robe is your cape. It's what's backing you up. The ring. Details. They're also very, very powerful. The detail of what you're intending to create for your life. That's why a wedding ring should be seen as everything. But because people get in marriages where they're lying to everybody, it has lost its value. Marriage itself is not wrong. The people getting married were. Don't take the beauty away from actual soulmates by dismissing the idea of marriage. It's gross. Add to it by honoring it with the few people who truly deserve to be honored. I mean a few. The scepter is God's lightning rod of how that energy manifests into earth. The shield, what you're choosing to protect yourself with. The tunic, what you're wearing daily, what you're attuning to. The breastplate, where you're the being at rest that's on your plate. Figure out that pun. What's on my breastplate is queen. So let's say the black ninja sweatshirt is my tunic, but my breastplate is the queen. So it's the connection from the heart chakra into the solar plexus. So the passivity funneling into the active mind. And digesting into your belly, where you digest information and light. The book. There's a very interesting lesson with the book because you can fit your whole life into it from beginning to end. And then the teaching that comes through the book is how it's manifested in your entirety life. The sword. Where you attack life. Punch, stab, slaughter, teach. Point. Defend. Also, the word. You can use your word like a sword. You may prevent bloodshed or create it. The gloves. How you handle reality. How you handle your life, what you're going to create. The filter for what you create. The lights. Your guiding light. The footwear. How you're going to walk through life. Physical walking through life. So look at my Joan of Arc shoes and what it looks like. Some of you may have known me for a while and how that has manifested in my life. Alone, guided by God, trying to bring sense and enlightenment to people to create a revolution of change. Like a witch. Thank God Lily played Joan of Arc. Thank God. Because Lily's an old, old soul too. She's very powerful. Very. If Lily wants the Joan of Arc footwear, she can do it. If she wants another one, she can do either. But Elijah gets all the things that I told him, and Spielberg gets all the initiations I told him. And if you're my student, you can choose because you're my student. And you have grace. That's it for the initial 12 initiations. We will do the 17 initiations in the next video.